Holocaust survivors.
Wow.
During the war, we were running for our lives from Belgium through France, and we were very lucky because after a year, we succeeded into entering Switzerland. There we were put into a camp, a refugee camp, for 2.5 years. So I was like 5 years old when I started my first grade in the camp. And we were there 2.5 years, and then when the war was over, we returned to Belgium in order to recapture the house that was taken away, and also save some of the people who remained from the Holocaust camps. So I had the first grade in Switzerland, second and third in Antwerp. The fourth I made in Cuba because we joined the family who was rescued there. And then we returned to Belgium and I did fifth and sixth. And then there was Israel. My father said, that's it, we're coming home.
Amen.
So we came to Israel, and we lived with my uncle in Tel Aviv for 9 months, in 2 rooms, 17 people. Because there were so many refugees coming from all over. So I did half a year in a school in Tel Aviv. I want to tell you that I was an old 4 years old. Because when we arrived into Switzerland, my father was taken in one camp, and we were my mother and my little brother was 2 and I was 4 in another camp. But before they started to park, my father was the first one to go to the other camp, to a working camp. And suddenly I saw that they're going to divide again into 2 parts. And I was very scared because I thought they're going to take my mother. But they did not. There were just 2 camps. So, and my mother said to me when we arrived to the camp, she said, look, you're going to be with the children, you have to take care of your brother. So I was very, very enthusiastic in doing that. In the morning we had to wash, dress, make the bed, and go to the dining room. But I went to my brother to see if he's okay. So I was like an old lady already. So when we arrived to Israel, I was 12 years, almost 12 years, and everything I did was like a very grown-up person. So when we arrived after 11 months to Ramat Gan, my father said, you know what, you go and fix that. They fixed us the electricity. You have to go to Tel Aviv, in the offices there, arrange the papers. I said, Dad, I'm only 12 years old. He says, no, you're not 12 years old. You're a grown-up. So I did it, and I succeeded, and everything was okay. And then I had to go to the municipality to inscribe us, and so I went there. And when he said, okay, what's your father's name, your brother's name, this and this, and he said, what's your name? And I said, you write down Abigail. And he said, what was your name in Belgium? And I said, oh, my name in Belgium was Eliane. So he said, you can't change your name. I said, oh, yes, I can. I have 3 names, so I can pick. So since then, I'm Abigail. I was born Abigail. And also in the school, I went to inscribe me and my brother at school. My mother was at the house. She was a housewife. I did everything outside. As I told you, I was old. And the manager, I inscribed my brother, and then I said to the director, I said, listen, I don't know Hebrew, and I don't know the Bible. And I know that in the 8th grade, the last one, there are exams. And I'm very young because I started at 5. So I want to redo the 7th grade. And he looked at me and he said, where are your parents? And I said, well, that's nothing to do with my parents. It's my life. But he didn't agree. I had to bring my mother. And when he brought her, she said, this girl knows better what she needs than me. So
Wow.
anyway, to make it short, I started high school, and a year later my father couldn't afford 2 children in high school, so I had to go to work. But I went to work and I found a high school in the evening,
Wow.
and I inscribed myself, and I did high school in the evening. I worked in the morning, and then I got married. This is a nice story about the marriage. Somebody decided that me and my husband are very well together. So he went to us, and I said, oh my God, I don't need any matchmaking. And he said, okay. And then he went to my husband. My husband said the same. I don't need any matchmaking. And he said to him, give me half an hour of your life. Just go for half an hour. He said, you know what? Saturday night, I have something in a family affair, so I'll come at 8 o'clock for half an hour. He comes back, this guy comes back with big beard, and he said, the guy will come for half an hour at 8 o'clock. And I said, wow, that's clever. He'll come half an hour, and then he'll go and have his party. But I'll do the same. I told my friends, wait until 9 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, nobody comes. 8:10, nobody comes. I said to my father, bye-bye, I'm going. Don't want to lose my friends. He closed the door with a key, put it in his pocket. Anyway, I was so angry that I started to eat bread, bread and butter. Anyway, 10 minutes later, he opens the door, there was a knock, and he said a shalom that was like, wow. I said, okay, let me go and see. So I peeped in, I saw him, and I said, oh my God, let him forget the half hour. So he did forget the half hour. We went for a walk, and then we decided to meet again on Wednesday. And my parents said, well, how was your walk? I said, if he comes up the stairs now, I'm going tomorrow to inscribe for the wedding. And they said, I know you're crazy, but you're out of your bloody mind. So we met again during Wednesday. Saturday night we went out with a group, and Sunday we got engaged. The love of my life.
Fantastic.
And then I decided that I wanted a lot of children. I said, well, I want 10 children. I mean, after the Holocaust, I was a survivor. I said something. So I had my first daughter. 3 years later, I had my son. That's it. So I cried. I was so sad. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? After 6.5 years, I had my son. Another son. I was so happy that I got scared. I got scared. Said, what is the purpose of my life? If I'm so happy, I'm a survivor. I have this child that I so much wanted. So I said to my husband, what can I do which is not to my close family? He says, go and volunteer. I said, good idea. I volunteered in first aid. And the first one I had to aid, they had to I was like white and scary, but I did it. But then I said it's not enough. So I gave 10 years of volunteering in Tel Shomer in the hospital. And I still said to my husband, it's not enough. You know what? Let's build a yeshuv, a settlement. Let's start.
Amen.
Oh, that's good. So I started to see in the Galil and so on and so forth. It was not enough until someone came from Neve Zuf. They were living in the police station, and he said, we need more people. We're only 10 families. I went to the police station, I looked around, it was like that, and I said, oh my God, this is the beginning. The beginning, Eden. I'm going to build here, I'm going to build it. I'm going to be the first here to build it. And I said to my husband, you know what? Go home, I'm staying. After 2 or 3 months, my last child, the little one, finished his school. He had his certificate in the hand. I was already on the tender, on the car. I phoned my husband. I said, I'm on my way. When the food is done, is finished, you can join us. And that's when I started here, like in 1978.
Wow.
And I volunteered here for 10 years, and I'm still volunteering here.
Nice.
And I feel like I came home. The only place I feel home. And then they came with the suggestion of building houses, and they gave like 4 samples to choose. And I said, why choose of 4 samples? 5 years later, people will come and you'll have only these samples. Give everybody the chance to build whatever they want. And I said, okay. So this guy comes with this beautiful picture of the Swiss cottage. And I said, oh my God, I said, I'm gonna close a circle, because that's exactly the house I saw from my window in the camp, all over. And I said, I'm going to build this house in Israel, in the Shomron, and live here. That's what I did. So we lived here for 35 years in this beautiful house until 4 months ago. 4 months ago, there was a group who went to the Galil for Shabbat. Friday night, there was a phone call, and I don't pick up the phone on Friday night Shabbat. But there was another call. So I looked and I saw the name of my neighbor who lived next to me, and she's on dialysis. She's doing every night. She always is with me because she's a widower. And I always take care of her, and I saw her name. So I said, what's wrong with you? Do you need the hospital? And she said, oh no, I'm okay, but your house is burnt. She had a call, and she answered, and then she picked up the Ynet, and she saw my house in flames. So I said, so what can I do? It's Shabbat, I can't do anything. She says, no, I need your support. So I go to her, and I stay with her. I gave her a pill to go to sleep, and the next day and I come back to the room, and my husband said, what's going on? I said, well, houses are burnt down in Neve Zuf. What about our house? I said, it's already done, burnt. And I go to sleep. The next morning he wakes up and he says to me, you know, I saw you so relaxed going to sleep. I said, if you can do it, I can do it. Anyway, Saturday night we got a call that we should not come back home because there's no way that we can stay here. Everything was in smoke, and it was... So what did I ask? Is everybody okay? Nobody got hurt? And they said no. So the whole group went to toast. L'chaim. We did toast, and we were happy and smiling, and everything was okay. The next day I arrived, and my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandson and my other son and my daughter, everybody came to help us come here, walk down and go into this area. As I walk, I see this pot, and a big red flower survived. So I said to my son, if this flower survived, so can I.
Amen.
Yes.
And that's it.
Amen.
And that's it. And I decided that, well, we went through the Holocaust, we survived, so I'm going to do that now again. I said, God, what is the purpose of my life now? What do you want me to do? No children anymore, I can't. But what do you want me to do? And said, just smile and be happy. And that's what I'm doing.
I hope you enjoyed that video. And we'd like to be sure you're getting all of our video content. So just click on the subscribe button below, as well as on the notification bell. And that way you will have easy access to all our material. We look forward to staying in touch with you. God bless you, and have a wonderful day.